Ovechkin has it, he scores! He scores! Alex Ovechkin scores 895! There's a new goal-scoring champion, and his name is Alexander Ovechkin! He has done it here on Long Island! His teammates love him! There is but one! Alexander the Great, the greatest to ever do it in National Hockey League history. The moment that was on Sunday as you take a look at Alex Ovechkin. He on the ice today for the morning skate here in Arlington as the Capitals getting ready to face the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Rink Report, brought to you by PenFed Credit Union. Great rates for everyone. He is Tarek El-Bashir. I am merely John Walton. There was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of emotion. There was a lot of things happening at a game on Sunday. And you, my friend, right off the top, getting to interview him as he came off at the end of the second period. How big a highlight was that for you in your career? I was so happy for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, John. That was pretty awesome to get the first interview. It's funny, working for TNT that night, I wasn't in the bowl. I was underneath doing all the interviews. So I'm kind of watching on this tiny monitor, and it was a little delayed, and the goal is scored, and my instinct is to find an opening to get into the bowl, and I actually ran down the tunnel onto the Caps bench with my phone up, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be here, but I can't stop. So I'm just videoing everything that's happening, watching the players spill over the bench and go to over to celebrate with Ovi. I mean, it was just so electric, and then to be the first guy to talk to him was awesome, because right when the camera guy was setting up to start the interview, I felt this. Ovi put both hands, he had his glove still on top of his stick, and he just let out this huge sigh. And one of my questions was, that was a lot of relief in that sigh, right? And you could just feel all of that pressure, all of those weeks and months and maybe even years of expectations and pressure and the questions. Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it this year? Is the leg injury going to keep you from doing it this year? Are you coming back next year? It just all came out in that moment, and then he gave me one of the best interviews that he's given me in 2 decades. So it was pretty awesome.
The emotion, not just from him, but from the entire organization, the team on the ice, the front office, everybody who was involved in being there, and you can see he was so appreciative and waving to Nick Backstrom and TJ Oshie there, and then bringing in his teammates, which I thought, and I asked Spencer Carberry this morning for the radio show for tonight, to be able to first and foremost say, I'm not here without my teammates, acknowledge who's on the team now, and then, of course, the shout-out for TJ and Nick, which I thought was tremendous. Yeah. And it was so emotional and honestly so difficult, even from doing the game on the broadcast, to be able to, wow, we still got a game here. Right, like, we still got to work. We still got other things to do after all of the NHL did such a wonderful job.
Awesome. Yeah.
And the Islander fans did such a wonderful job. Wayne Gretzky and his remarks and bringing in the Islander fans immediately. This happens on their front porch. They didn't know this was going to be happening in their building even a week before. They thought maybe. And then the families, the hats, the shirts.
Did you get merch? I didn't get anything.
I did not get any merch at all.
I didn't get a
that's
pin.
Okay.
No hat, no T-shirt.
Well,
someone could have just flipped me something.
I think you can go to the team store, and I think it's available for you there. You can see this was the emotion
so
afterward.
Cool. So
being
cool.
in the room and being able to see these guys. And I talked with Tom Wilson afterward. I talked with Charlie Lindgren afterward. And just in both of those interviews, the emotion that came off these guys.
Yeah.
John Carlson, I thought, was one of the best post-game avails he's ever done.
Yeah.
And was talking almost without questions being asked about the pressure that he was under. He said, for us, this was incredibly cool. Oh, great, he got a goal. He's closer. But for him, it was work because he had to come in front of all of us. And he's like, hey, now you're 8 away. Now you're 7 away. I'm sure it was relief that he had. But I also just what it meant to his teammates, I think, was one of the coolest things. And then Scotty Allen, who I talked to, it was Scotty's birthday on Sunday.
Nice.
He's never going to forget it. I mean, just all the different stories, all the different rings. We're going to be talking about this for years and years to come.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, someone asked me yesterday, I think, rank your top OV moments in order. And I was like, That's a great question, and I thought about it for a minute. Obviously, Stanley Cup, winning in 2018.
Game 7 Tampa Bay, for me, would be on that list.
Oh, okay. So I'm glad you said that, because with 893, 894, 895, I actually threw a curveball. As much as 895 was awesome to be in the building and witness it and all the aftermath, for me, 893 and 894 had more juice and a little bit more meaning because it happened at home and because of the last 10 minutes of the game where it felt like Ovi was out there every other shift, and the puck that went off the goalie's shoulder that almost went in, and just the electricity in the air. So I would go, Game 7 of Tampa. I didn't even think about it. But I'm going to go Cup, 893, 894, 895, and then beating the Penguins in that Game 6 on the way to Tampa Bay. That's 1 through 4 for me.
That's a pretty good list. And
what do you got?
I want to throw this out because somebody had mentioned this to me, and I don't even remember what interview it was because there was a bunch of them that we were doing here on radio across everywhere over the last 3 or 4 days. Somebody had asked me, is this the biggest moment in MCI Center, Verizon Center, Capital One Arena history? And I'm saying yes, I think it is, because what would top 894? Ooh. And I don't think anything does. The Red Wings won a cup there. The cup was awarded there, but that's not a great moment for this team.
Right.
The Caps haven't won a playoff series on home ice since 2015. They have won them, of course. I would say maybe
Arena Football League championship.
I'm going to say that's probably not it. You know what might be,
without a doubt. You just stop thinking about it. By far, that's the best moment in
Here's
Capital
one.
One Arena.
Let me throw a serious one out. When they won the division title in 08, and came roaring back under Bruce Boudreau, that's maybe the closest one. That moment, one of the best in the building's history, coming roaring back to win a Southeast Division title in the most unlikely circumstances possible after being last in a league in November.
And that was the launch of all of what's happened over the last 17 years now.
But I don't think even that tops 894.
Yeah,
I don't think it does.
No, I think you're right. That's an interesting question. I wish I had thought about it off camera so I could really dig deep. But I'll go 894.
Yes.
And then I do think the last place to first place charge in Bruce Boudreau's first year, that was the year they changed the jerseys back to red. I mean, that really was the dawn of the Rock the Red era. It all began. I know Ovi had two 50-goal seasons before that, but that really was the beginning of Alex the Great and just everything that came after it.
Yeah.